Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Mike McCarthy joins Tom Landry with impressive Dallas Cowboys record. The Dallas Cowboys continued their winning ways on Sunday, defeating the lowly Carolina Panthers to improve to 7-3 on the season. In the process, Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy accomplished a special feat. McCarthy led Dallas to a 7-3 start for the third consecutive season, becoming just the second coach in franchise history to do so. The other coach to accomplish such a feat? None other than the late, great Tom Landry. That sounds utterly bizarre for a franchise as storied as the Cowboys. Landry obviously makes sense as the first and by far the greatest coach in franchise history who guided the Cowboys for almost 30 years, but no one else joining him until now seems unbelievable. Not Jimmy Johnson, who led Dallas to back-to-back Super Bowls in the 90s. Not Barry Switzer, who had 3 straight 10-win seasons despite his ugly exit from Dallas. No, it's McCarthy, a hire many criticized at the time in 2020, who finally joined Landry in this extremely exclusive club. Of course, McCarthy still has a very long way to go to even come close to Landry's legacy. He's in just his 4th season compared to Landry's 29, and the latter also has 2 Super Bowls under his belt while the former is still looking for his first with the Cowboys. Even if McCarthy somehow accomplishes all that, he can never claim to have built the Cowboys from the ground up like Landry did. Still, it speaks to what McCarthy has done with the Cowboys, which is bringing a level of stability that hasn't been seen in decades. Dallas had only started 7-3 6 times in the 21st century before McCarthy arrived, and now they've done it 3 times in a row. McCarthy is also on track to lead the Cowboys to their 3rd straight playoff appearance, which they haven't done since the early to mid-90s. While Dallas is still looking for that ever-elusive postseason success, it's hard to deny what McCarthy has done in such a short time. Micah Parsons has 4-word reaction to notable Cowboys stat. The Dallas Cowboys have been one of the NFL's best defenses this season. They have allowed 17.5 points per game on the year, the 5th best mark in the league. One big reason for their success is the spectacular play of Micah Parsons, who has made a stamp on franchise history. The Cowboys PR team recently called out Parsons' impact on the defense, highlighting that he is the first player in franchise history to have 10 or more sacks in his first 3 seasons. He is only the 9th player in the NFL since 1982 to achieve this feat, which demonstrates how rare this is. After seeing this post, Parsons responded with all glory to God. He seems to be proud of his performance thus far, and the fact that he has made franchise history is icing on the cake. However, while and his teammates might be excited for this feat, they still have a lot of work to do. The Cowboys might have one of the league's best defenses and one of the league's best defensive players, but that title only goes so far. Without a long stretch in this year's playoffs, their regular season statistics do not mean much. This team has been under the microscope lately for their inability to win big games to advance further in the playoffs. Hopefully, Parsons' dominant play on defense can help this team make the necessary leap they have been looking for. Otherwise, it'll be back to the drawing board for the Cowboys, heading into another offseason after a disappointing exit. Micah Aaron Parsons, born May 26, 1999, is an American football linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys of the National Football League, NFL. Parsons played college football at Penn State, where he was named a consensus All-American, the Butkus Fitzgerald Linebacker of the Year, and the Cotton Bowl Defensive MVP as a sophomore in 2019, before being selected by the Cowboys in the first round of the 2021 NFL Draft. Parsons was named the NFL's Defensive Rookie of the Year following the 2021 season. Parsons was born in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania on May 26, 1999. He attended Central Dauphin High School for his freshman and sophomore years, before transferring to Harrisburg High School where he started at both defensive end and running back. As a freshman, he tallied 121 tackles for loss and 18.5 sacks. As a junior, he collected 69 tackles, 20 tackles for loss, and 13.5 sacks. As a senior, Parsons posted 1,239 rushing yards, 27 rushing touchdowns, tied for 9th in the state, 99 receiving yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. He racked up 55 tackles, 17.5 tackles for loss, 10 plus a half sacks, and 1 interception. Parsons also played varsity basketball. He was a five-star recruit and was ranked number 4 in his class by 247sports.com and number 7 by ESPN. Parsons was recruited by Nebraska, Georgia, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Alabama, and Penn State. On December 19, it was reported that Ohio State had committed NCAA violations because the university allowed him on the set of ESPN's College Game Day to take a picture with analyst Kirk Herbstreit. As Herbstreit is a former Ohio State University quarterback, this was a violation of NCAA rules, as recruits are not allowed to have contact with members of the media associated with former student athletes. As a result, Ohio State agreed to no longer recruit Parsons. Penn State University offered Parsons a football scholarship after just 4 games of his freshman season. He initially committed in the spring of 2016, then decommitted, before recommitting again on December 20, 2017. He graduated Harrisburg High School 7 months early to expedite the enrollment process. After committing to Penn State, Parsons was informed by head coach James Franklin that he would start his Penn State career at middle linebacker rather than defensive end, which he played in high school. Parsons was in contention for the starting job even though he was a true freshman. CeeDee Lamb lands on Cowboys injury report ahead of Week 12 versus Commanders. The Dallas Cowboys are facing the Washington Commanders in a Thanksgiving Day matchup, but Dallas may be without one of its key players. The Cowboys listed CeeDee Lamb as limited on today's estimated injury report with an ankle injury, according to Tom Pelissero of NFL Network. It's not clear exactly when Lamb injured the ankle. The Cowboys, despite playing a struggling team like the Commanders, will be hoping that Lamb can recover in time to play on Thanksgiving. He's not just a critical part of the offense, Lamb has been on an absolute tear of late. The Cowboys' star wide receiver became the first to ever notch 3 straight games with 10 catches and 150 receiving yards. CeeDee Lamb is also inching closer to a franchise record by Michael Irvin. He's racked up 100-plus receiving yards for 4 straight games. Terrell Owens was the last Cowboys receiver to have accomplished the feat last week. Lamb laid it out clearly, saying, "I'm the top receiver in the game. There's no question about it. If there is, I'll see you again next week." The Cowboys have played on Thanksgiving every year since 1966, when then GM Tex Schramm signed the team up to play on the holiday and drive publicity. It was a massive success. Over 80,000 fans attended the Cowboys' first Thanksgiving Day game, and every year since, excluding 2 years in the 1970s, Dallas has hosted a game on Thanksgiving. Because the Cowboys are such a huge draw, there have never really been any serious calls for them to lose their spot hosting a game on the holiday. And you fan, what do you think of the CeeDee Lamb situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.